So the cards spoke through. Normally I do collective readings. This week it felt like I needed to do a pick a pile. I was drawn to two different decks. So whichever deck it is that you chose is the message that's coming through, and I hope you enjoy and I hope you connect and resonate, and sending all lots of light. Thank you as always for being a fellow light and light traveler and being here and connecting, and I hope you enjoy this week's reading. While you're here, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your reading. Hello, fellow lights and light travelers. Welcome again to Light Journeys Tarot. I appreciate your being here and connecting your energy with mine as we are all connected. I've gone ahead as always and, connected with my guides, called in higher good energies, protected the space. Normally I get called to a deck when I do a collective reading. Today I was called to two decks. I went back and forth about whether or not I should. My gut, my feeling, my instinct is telling me do the two. So we are going to do a pick a pile. So take a moment, see which deck is calling your name, which one you feel more connected to. Me personally, I don't pull the cards ahead of time like some other readers do. I just want you to look at the decks. These two definitely have different vibes. So whichever one you feel more called to, trust that instinct. You can always watch both readings if you want. You never know if there's more than one, message coming through for you. But if you do feel particularly drawn to one or the other, go with that. I'll make sure to link the timestamps for each reading. This will be deck number 1 and this will be deck number 2. It's very funny too because I pulled this one first and then I pulled this one, but it is what it is. So this will be deck 1 today. This will be deck 2 today. And we'll go ahead and get through the readings and see what Spirit wants to bring through. So let's get into it. All right, my fellow lights and light travelers, if you're here, then you chose deck number 1. I appreciate your being here. As I like to caveat with all my readings, and if you're here before, you'll know this, so you can fast forward through me. Or if you're new here, just a little know-how of what I like to do with my readings. I like to emphasize the fact that you yourself have the power, okay? This is not about me. This is not about someone outside of you. This is you and the universe bringing you information. So take what resonates, leave the rest, and know that whatever comes through, nothing's set in stone, good or bad, right? We have the power to lead and live our own lives. So always feel empowered to lead with your heart for the greatest good of yourself and for others. And trust that inner voice of your own, okay? Trust your own guidance. This is energies as they lay. I'm connecting to them. I'm bringing forth information. Take this as entertainment. Take this as education. Take what resonates. Leave the rest, okay? Trust yourself. Trust that you yourself are connected. Just like I am able to connect to the energies, you are able to connect to the energies. So trust yourself, lead with your own thought processes on whatever comes through, and know that you have the power to, make whatever decision you want in your life. So lead from your heart and all will be well. All right. With that being said, let's get into it and see what message Spirit wants to bring forth. All right. All right. Let's see what message is coming through today for this collective. What message would like to come through? Okay, trusting the stop. First one is 6 of Pentacles. The Hanged Man, and Judgment. Alrighty. Let's get this nice and in frame. Perfect. All right, let's get into it. So the 6 of Pentacles is about generosity, is about paying it forward, is about sharing resources. This is past, present, future. Let's see. I feel two things here when I'm looking and I'm connecting to this image. So I'm feeling that in your past, you have both, and sorry if the lights are fluctuating. It's just I'm using natural light, so clouds are passing by. So yes, that's why you're seeing fluctuations in the light. All right, back to this. So in your past, I feel like two things have happened. One, you are connected to, or you can think of people in your past who have made an impact on you, who have shared resources. So this could be with pentacles, right? This is often, financial. So these people could have helped you in a hard time. But I'm also feeling like this is more than just financial. So I'm like thinking of like teachers who've made an impact in your life, or friends, people that have given some type of wisdom upon you, some type of knowledge, some type of experience, right? So even though this is grounded and this is pentacle and this could be financial, these are people that were impactful for you as a child growing up, and you witnessed it. So it's like those heroes that come into our lives. Like what came into my mind is like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like those shining examples of people that come into our life and make an impact on us. So there could be financial impact, but there could be like a deeper impact of, just emotional, just that nurturing, just that connection that you needed, that little bit of wisdom, that guidance along the way. And I'm seeing, right, in this reciprocity, this exchange, you took from it, and it feels like it's been something that was inspirational to you and it's made an impact on you, and it's something that you look back upon because it's something that you either embody, that ethic or ethos in your life that you also want to give back to others, or you're trying to, or like to one day become a person that, maybe is financially able to help others, right? But you can always give in different ways, and being kind to others, and offering wisdom to others, excuse me. Yeah. So I'm drawn to this feather. I don't know why. I don't know what comes into it's feathers, but I'm seeing like bunny ears. So it almost looks like a rabbit face right here. If you look at this, like, I don't know why I'm seeing like that's coming through, a rabbit. I don't know if you all had them as pets in your life, or there's I don't know. How could we read rabbit? Maybe in your past there was that constant, like rabbits are always jumping and having to move around, jumping around, in constant movement. So maybe that was a lot of it too. Maybe when you were young, you traveled a lot, you moved around a lot, you felt like you hopped around to a lot of places. So the people who did have an impact in your life felt it was like a candle in the dark. They were like a light to you in those moments, because you felt like you were constantly hopping around as a child, or maybe there was not stability, so it was a constant movement for whatever reason. So that gesture is what I'm looking for, that gesture of kindness, that help that came out to you, and however that may be, that wisdom, that hand outstretched, that kindness was super, super impactful, and it's something that you think about, and it's something that has shaped who you are as a human being. So yeah, that's beautiful. And it's created a pathway for you. It helped create a pathway. Those footsteps created a pathway to your future, to who you are now. Those little moments were little, but they were big. They were impactful, and they've shaped who you are as an individual. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful past energy. With the Hanged Man, I always read this as a shift in perspective, right? It's interesting, right? So we're talking about that past energy. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I apologize. 1 second. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Bless me. Okay. So with this past energy, you had someone come into your life, or many people have come into your life that were impactful. In this present moment, perhaps you've been able to shift your perspective of those moments. You're looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe you're relating to it in a different perspective. Hold on, I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. 1 second. Okay, sorry, I just took a moment there. Sneezed again. I don't want to keep sneezing on camera. My apologies. Okay, so you've had a bit of a change of perspective. Let's see. What's interesting is in this change of perspective, it almost feels like what I'm drawn to is actually this little bat that's kind of like looking at you like, hey, what are you doing here? So it feels like perhaps in your life, in this changing of perspective, people are looking at you like, whoa, like, you know, you've changed, like you're relating to things differently. So it's almost like shocking other people that you've had this perspective change. It's just funny, right? Like, and that's part of life, right? It's growth, it's change, it's looking at things sometimes differently as we evolve. What's funny here is it definitely feels like you're doing this has caused others to be like, hey, what's going on with you, right? Like they're kind of shocked. But in the same way, it feels like they're happy for you. I'm drawn to this little froggy here that's like, hey man, like, or gal, or, you know, they, she, they, I'm sorry, pronouns, lack of pronouns. You know, like, hey person, like you're doing like glad to see you here. I'm glad that you're looking at things through a new light, right? So it feels like that vibe is coming through. In this change of perspective, right? It feels like things have been revealed to you. So in connection with that in the past, perhaps you weren't aware necessarily that maybe someone was helping your family or, you know, the kindnesses that maybe certain adults had in your life, maybe like teachers and whatnot. When you were a kid, you were just like, oh, they're my favorite teacher or whatever. And, you know, maybe you did connect to it, but maybe perhaps you didn't see the full picture of what all they were doing for you and that impact. So that realization of how they lived, and how they were towards you and the help that it's given you and the guidance, you know, you're changing your view of that. But it feels like in a positive way. It feels like an awareness that's come in, but in a beautiful way. And yeah, and perhaps it's shifting you a bit. It's shifting your connection to those things and maybe even your appreciation. I feel like it could be deepening your appreciation to things. And I'm also wanting to say that you're noticing, right, that perhaps as a kid or when you were younger, certain things where you didn't realize how by a thread things were, like, right, this is holding on by like just your foot, like your bare feet. So it's like just hanging on by a thread. You know, you could have, you know, pricked yourself or you could have gotten injured or whatever the heck, but you know, there was something there, there was someone there, there was people that were there, which shows that there was a force greater than you that was guiding those people into your lives. And you know, this perspective of I made it through those things and look where I've come to be, right? That realization feels like it's floated in for you. And I also feel like you're on the precipice, right? This new day is dawning. So it feels like you're on the precipice of evolving, like this chapter of this awareness of how you were and how people assisted you in the past and how, you know, you move throughout this in this world with that appreciation. And perhaps, you know, it went from feeling like, you know, perhaps things worked against you to, wow, things have watched out for me. Like I can see that now and people in my life made an impact and, you know, I'm here and it's okay. And you're shifting that awareness and it feels like the sun is rising on this new appreciation and this new view and this healthier, happier connection to yourself and your life and your story. And then the chapter that's going to be coming into fruition in the future. So this present is beautiful. You're in a beautiful place. And I'm seeing the red, so it feels like you're very grounded. That's that root chakra. You're very grounded in this, and it's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. With judgment, there's an awakening. There's sometimes endings, right? transitions, right? Transitioning. With this card, let's see. To me, this feels celebratory. It feels like a ending to what was, right? And a transition into what will be. This doesn't mean like, please don't feel fear from the artistic rendition of this card, right? For me, this feels like it's speaking to, an ending of what was and a beginning of what is coming, right, in this future. And what you see here is that there's joy and there's celebration, right? So this feels to me like perhaps in the ending of your, I'm just blanking out so I can allow it to come to me. A connection to what was. You're stepping into what will be in a celebratory and happy way, and it's bringing in a more joyful dance, like the dance of life, this dance of, flowing through things, right? I'm hearing party, like this celebration. From here, what's interesting is I felt like the dawn was coming up, and here it's even more risen, right? So it feels like in this future, it's becoming brighter and brighter, and it's becoming celebratory. And perhaps the past difficulties that you lived, perhaps in childhood, the lessons or whatever was meant to shape who you were as a person, that chapter has ended, and you are taking that knowledge and you're moving into a more awakened version of yourself with a healthier connection to what was. It doesn't hold you as it perhaps did. Like, perhaps your connection was one of things were hard and this was that. And then, in this present state, you're going, but yeah, no, actually, people are always here for me and they helped me and they were generous to me and it got me to where I am. And there's something healing in that for you, and taking that new perspective and seeing how you've survived and thrived, and how, you're going into this new chapter with a healthier connection to it that's changed perspective. And it's ending, that connection to the hurt, and it's bringing in the joy and the balance and the fact that, it's all a dance and it's okay. And you've been held in those moments. You were protected. You were guided in those moments, right? So now you're setting into this new chapter with new outlook, and there's going to be celebration and the ending of what no longer served and what no longer is, into what will be, into the dawning of this new day, into this version of yourself, into this new life, into this new connection. So this is beautiful. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful reading. Gorgeous. All right, let's pull some cards. I like to pull 2 oracles, see what pulls me, which one is guiding me to get information, to see what else wants to come through on this reading. All right. All right, the first deck that's calling me is the Mystical Shaman Pocket Oracle. I will also say I just nicked myself on my pinky. I don't even know if you can see that. A little right there, right there. I'm sharing because last time I got injured while reading. It meant something, so I'm gonna just go ahead and share a little cut. I don't know if that has to do with anything, but we'll see. Or perhaps like, the little nicks that happen in your life, it's just healing and moving on. Or what had happened was like a tiny thing, and your perspective and your connection to it is not going to be as deep as it was, and things will heal. But yeah, okay, let's get into the Oracle decks and see what wants to come forth. All right. All right, Spirit. What else would like to come forth for this collective? What would like to come forth through the Oracle for this collective? All right, trusting the stop. The staff, interesting. Where do we even want to put that? Where? My initial feeling is right there. All right, let's see what the Oracle deck has to say. All right. So normally invitation is upright. I want to read the invitation. I will leave the medicine as well if you so choose to want to read the medicine part. I will hold it so that you can pause and read the screen, but for now, let me just read the beginning. So the staff, the essence. The staff is a symbol of authority. It holds the power to temper extremes. The staff helps you find the right course of action, the way of the middle, and aids you to maintain your balance after you begin walking in that direction. So perhaps as you've changed your perspective in your things, this is helping you to, it's helping to guide you, to strengthen you and to support you as you move in this new way of working through things. Thank you, Spirit. Moses carried a serpent staff through the desert, and with it he could summon the power of nature to heal or call plagues. The staff reminds you of the impermanence of all things, and that your authority must come from your deep longing to serve. Okay. The invitation. You know how to flow easily between polarities, how to weigh all possibilities, and instinctively select the right path. Yeah. We talked about the path and being guided onto the right path, so thank you, Spirit, again for the confirmation. Trust your inner wisdom and take the first step on a journey that your heart has already embarked on. Use the power of the staff to unite what appears to be divided, to find that delicate balance between will and surrender. And then I'll go ahead and hold medicine here so you can pause and read. All right. Okay, beautiful. So this is talking about being on the right path and helping this guide you down the right path. So, I want to put this here now because there was a pathway there. And that change of perspective that's helping guide you on this pathway. Beautiful. All right, let's get into the next deck. The next deck that called to me is the Herbal Astrology. So let's get into it and see what message wants to come through. All right. What else would like to come through, Spirit? Okay, trusting the stop. Milk thistle, peaceful warrior. This is beautiful. All right, let's see what message is coming through. So it says peaceful warrior, milk thistle, Silybum Marianum. I hope I'm saying that correct. So upright, which it is, peaceful warrior, shield, truth keeper, shelter, sanctuary, safekeeping, and justice, which I think is beautiful because it feels like, that's part of that. You were kept safe through this, and perhaps in that you're embodying that, right? I'm not going to read reversed because we didn't get it reversed. Astrological ruler, Mars and the moon. We talked about the moon revealing, coming through. Beautiful. Native to the Mediterranean, the Greek physician and botanist Dioscorides, I don't know. Sorry if I'm butchering the name. Was the first to write down milk thistle's healing properties in the 1st century AD. Milk thistle was a remedy for disease of melancholy, assisted in the production of breast milk, and acted as a powerful and anti-inflammatory for the liver and gallbladder. Milk thistle's characteristic violet fuchsia flowers and white veined leaves are said to embody the Virgin Mary's milk. Oh, that's cute. I didn't know that. Okay, there are many magical rituals associated with this protective flower. Traditionally, flowers are thrown into the fire to deflect lightning, and garments were woven with thistle fibers to protect the wearer from any spells. Dolls, puppets, and magical tools were often stuffed with thistle to break negative, depressive spells, melancholy, and evil hexes. So perhaps in the connection to the past and the things that you had gone through, there was a bit of depression and sadness that had come through, but in this changing of perspective, in this kind of embodying of the milk thistle, right, you're changing that and this joy is coming in. So it feels like joy is coming for you, and this is affirmation, confirmation of that. In Europe, witches would make large vats of thistle to call in the spirits. A bowl of thistle tea in a room is said to revitalize energy, bring strength, and renew the spirits. Thistle was often planted in entryways to ward off thieves or parasitic energy. Milk thistle embodies the spirit of the fierce badger, as it's an aggressive healer known to rid the body of disease, poison, and toxic substances. Many Native American traditions associate badger medicine with powerful medicine women, as badgers are some of the great protectors of Earth's medicine. Badgers act quickly and efficiently in a crisis, and they do not panic. Embodying the primal warrior elements of Mars, badgers fearlessly find the means and courage to protect with what's theirs, regardless of the consequences. So perhaps you're a bit of badger energy, it feels like. You protect those that matter to you and that you care for. Milk thistle also falls under the moon's rulership as its galactagogue, meaning it assists in milk production along with assisting the entire gastrointestinal system. Nice. So perhaps it helps with gastral issues. Interesting. Guidance. Milk thistle dispels the damaging and destructive thoughts that can induce an endless loop of self-sabotage. Abandon insecurity, gossip, and fear-based protection strategies that enable frustration or a false sense of growth. So this is spirit coming in with advice, and it is yours to take or leave, right? Do not waste your time trying to control what cannot be controlled. Like a peaceful warrior, set your boundaries firmly and fearlessly. Like badger, milk thistle shakes up systems that hinder innovation and halts patterns of behaviors that stunt growth. Know that you are not changing. You are choosing. So there's that change of perspective. You are choosing to step into a new way of connecting perhaps to the past, to your present, and to your future. You're not changing. You are choosing your new perspective. You are walking through that to release that melancholy, that sadness that perhaps came in, and you're choosing to look at things from a new perspective, and you're choosing to move throughout this world into joy, to bring in that joy in your future. So that's beautiful. I feel like not everybody, and I just want to take a moment to applaud you, because not everybody does that work. It's hard. It's extremely hard work. So the fact that you are choosing to move through this world and choosing to bring into the light, into the happiness, into the joy, and you're changing your perspective on things is hard. And I applaud you, and you should applaud yourself. You should applaud yourself. And yeah, recognize and take that moment to recognize that you're doing the work. Source sees you, spirit sees you, the universe sees you, and then bringing through this message that with the work that you are choosing to do, you're being guided and joy will be coming in. So that's beautiful. It looks like a bright, bright, bright future because of what you're doing now. So applaud yourself. Thank you again for being here. I hope this resonates. If it does, leave a message, thumbs up, share, please help push this out to other people who might need this message. I will see you again next week, or you can check out any of the videos that you feel that I've previously posted that you feel drawn to, right? And then if you ever want a personal reading from me, I do have my stores listed, so please feel free to reach out there. And yeah, I wish you all light. See you again at the next reading, and keep up the amazing work. Good things are coming. Know that it's on its way. Bye. All right, fellow lights and light travelers, you picked the Wonderstruck Tarot. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. As I like to always say before my readings, right, I'm reading the energies as they currently stand. Take it as advice, take it as entertainment, take it as education. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You have the ultimate power, right? This is your life. You are leading it, right? I'm reading energies as they stand. You have the power, trust, right? Like, universe probably brought you here to get a message, but it's your choice to lead with your heart and make your own decisions, right? So trust that you have the answers, that you are connected, right? That you can lead from your heart for the greatest good of yourself and others. Lead with love, lead with kindness, Make decisions based on that and trust yourself to make the right decision. All right? So let's see what message Spirit wants to bring through with the Wonderstruck Tarot. Let's get into it. All right. Let's see what Spirit wants to bring through. It's so funny. I picked like 2 decks today for the readings. I was pulled to 2 decks today. And one, cards are very small, and the other one, this one, the cards are very big. And it's a little bit more difficult to shuffle, but that's okay. Messages want to come through, they want to come through. Let's see what's coming forth for the collective. Although they're big, there's a lot. It's a good cardstock quality. It really slides. Ooh. Just hard for my hands to hold. It's all good. Let's see what message wants to come forth for this collective. Ooh. All right, trusting the stop. All right, death, rebirth. Nice. Tranquility. Wow. I love this card deck. It's so gorgeous. And the 7 of Cups. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. With this particular deck, death feels like a surrender to a transformation that's led to a rebirth. So this is that past energy for you. So you definitely went through stuff or have gone through something or some things that has led you to, in your past, surrender in a peaceful way. This isn't, I'm not coming at this with hostile energy. You're going, you know what? Whatever will be, will be. You know that song, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see, que sera, sera, right? So it's like, that's that energy. That's what feels like it's coming in. You were just like, I'm just going to allow. I'm going to trust. I'm going to surrender to what's happening. So you were very much previously in that pace. And you know what? It's like, it's like very peaceful. Like, it almost feels like, you know, this could be that you have pets, but it could also just be that, you know, the universe is going, it's okay. You know, rest. Like, we've got you, right? Like this little puppy is smiling, like just at peace, because your energy is so tranquil. It's so calm. It's so in a mode of trust that you're allowing, right? It feels like, you know, you're resting in a bed of flowers and you're just at ease. So you're allowing the butterflies and the ladybugs to come and kind of drift and like wander over you or wander to you, right? It feels like that energy of, I'm not forcing anymore. So it's like when you're going and you're like, I want to experience this and da 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 da. And it's kind of like you're creating this force that's like pushing against and repelling what it is that you want, versus I'm going to allow, I'm going to surrender, I'm going to like rebirth into my connection to whatever it is. And I'm going to allow these things to come to me. I'm going to go into a mode of receptivity, and I'm going to trust, and I'm going to trust that these things and what's meant to be mine will be mine. You know, que sera, sera, you know, what will be, will be. It's going to come into me. That's beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful energy that you've held. Absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful energy. And yeah, there's been flowering around you that you've brought forth. And you're embodying that energy, right? You've got the dress and it matches the flowers. You're embodying the energy that you want to attract because you surrendered and you released the need to push, right? You just know, you know that it's coming in for you. You've known that, right? That's that energy that you previously had. All right, let's get into the present. So with this deck, the author created the tranquility. And this stands for peace, stillness, inner harmony, right? Reflecting, confidence, centering, stillness. I definitely see and feel calm. So you're bringing through that energy of like surrender, but you in doing so have, I feel like, centered yourself. And it feels like you're not listening to the noise anymore. You're choosing to make space for yourself. You're choosing to be in those moments of connection. So this could be, like I say, being silent, reading a book, meditating, praying, going for a walk, having little moments for yourself, like carving out moments of your day. Sometimes it could be as simple as, drinking a coffee quietly or a tea, buttering some toast with jam. This is what's coming into my head, and just like savoring every bite, like just really tasting and feeling the chew and, the textures of the crunch if you toasted the bread, or the chew if it's soft, and whatever jam or jelly you put on or didn't put on, the butter, the cream, however it is that you're eating, this particular, I'm thinking like a high tea and stuff. Like you're treating yourself to this, right? And you're having those moments of experience and like truly immersing, right? There's silence, but there's a richness in the fact that there's silence, that you're able to observe and I want to say the noise normally filters things out, so you're able to absorb and observe greater detail in the little simple things, and it's bringing you calm and it's bringing you center, and like, wow, what a beautiful, beautiful energy to hold. And wow, like not everybody is able to do that. So the fact that you are living in this manner, in this present way, and like allowing yourself to center and still, to truly receive, to bring in, especially after this energy, like for me, I have to say this is like, you're a very strong, beautiful, evolved individual to be able to surrender when people, normally want to push and fight and contradict, and then allowing yourself to get still to receive. What a beautiful, beautiful energy you have. Wow, 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 wow. And I feel like you have guides with you. Like immediately I'm drawn to the dog and to the toucan or the bird. Sorry if it's not a toucan. And they're looking straight into, the reader's eye. So it feels like, whereas you are contemplative and you're observing and you're doing all this stuff, like your guides are attentive and they've got you and they're watching. So for me, this feels like ethereal, kind of across the veil type guide. So this could be ancestors, this could be angels, however it is that you want to connect to that energy, just guides, whatever you want to call that are with you, that are watching for you and keeping observant. But you might also have people here, but I feel like in this moment it feels like you're a person that is, sure, you could be meeting up with friends, but it's like in those moments of stillness, you've still got company. It's just silence, and perhaps you're able to receive the messages from your guides, your angels, your ancestors, whatever, a bit clearer because you're in those moments of silence. Yeah, I'm just feeling peace. I'm feeling awareness. The word awareness is coming in very strongly, and awareness. Oh, sorry. I normally don't do so many back-to-back readings. It's very energy. I'm feeling my energy being like, ugh, but that's okay. I like to bring forth what needs to come forth. I heard the word blossoming. So perhaps in your awareness and connection, you're blossoming into a deeper connection, deeper awareness, and just in your life, how you move throughout the life. It's bringing forth this blossoming, this evolution, this unfolding by connecting. There's an unfolding, there's an opening up. So perhaps even opening up to this energy by getting still. Beautiful. And I feel like your chakras are very online because I'm just drawn to all the colors. It's gorgeous. What a beautiful, peaceful reading. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous energy. So with the Seven of Cups, this is about possibilities and this is about choices. So it feels like in this present time, right, you're blossoming into, you're changing, you're connecting. And this is going to bring forth choices in your life, things that you can perhaps, remember, instead of pushing things, you're surrendering, and then you got still and you're allowing and you're connecting. And this is going to bring in the choices in your life. So in the future, you're going to have choices to choose from for whatever it is that you're, surrendering and not trying to push. There will be choice coming in. So this could be matters of the heart, perhaps, you're going to meet different people. This could be perhaps choices for, jobs, maybe lots of different job offers will come in. I don't know why, tongue twister there. Perhaps job officers, maybe, I keep saying officers. That's crazy to me. Okay. Offers, perhaps, homes, like maybe you're trying to move, whatever it is, and this could just be like in connections to how you move throughout this world. You will definitely be having choices coming to you in your future. So this is what's showing through. And what's interesting too is I feel like this is not going to be something that you rush. I'm very drawn to the stoicism of this character. And I'm taking my time, right? Because you're definitely in that stillness, which is beautiful. This feels not rushed at all. You're going to look at the offers that come in for whatever it is that you have on your mind, right? Whatever it is that you're curious about, that you were surrendering to and not trying to force. Whatever those offers are, you're going to think through it and you're going to intuit through it. You're going to use your intuition to guide you to feel what is the best fit. Like, where is it that I want to move that keeps me in stillness and in alignment and allowing to receive in this new space that I would like. So this feels very measured, not rushed. This feels like you're going to make good decisions for whatever it is that you choose, right? Trust yourself. Trust that you can make these decisions. And yeah, there's definitely going to be abundance and a plethora. There's going to be a variety is the word that I want to utilize. And I'm drawn to, like, you are the golden, right? Like these choices are coming to you because, you deserve them. And I don't mean it like, oh, you deserve it. I mean, like, you're living in alignment and leading from kindness and goodness. So it's like, yeah, these things can come into you and it's okay. Allow them to come in and then choose which one feels the best for you. Because, right, remember, you're a prize. You're a good human being. You're moving through this world, with good intentions. So yeah, let yourself match with the energy that you're putting out. You're putting out golden, receive golden, right? Choose what feels the best and the most aligned. I'm also like, I keep want to say Frida Kahlo. This looks very Frida Kahlo-esque to me. Let me take a pause to look her up because I just feel like I need to speak to that. So yeah, let's see what's going to come through. So it's speaking to the fact that she is really well known for her visual self-portraits and how she took pain and deeply deeply personal self-views of herself through her portraiture. I can speak today. I don't know why I'm so done. I apologize. In her raw honesty, in her focus, in her identity. So perhaps this is you standing in your identity, in your truth, in what's going to align real with you. And you're going to be raw and, choose something that aligns and brings in that life and that vibrancy and that calmness. Whatever it is that you're wanting, you're going to align with it. And I feel like, let's see. It says, I never paint dreams or nightmares. I paint my own reality. So perhaps in this, you're bringing forth the reality that you wish to manifest is what's coming through. So what reality do you see for yourself in the future? Because you definitely are going to have the choices. So yeah, you're bringing forth that what's aligned. I'm being raw. I'm being honest with myself. And then I know that I have been strong and, choosing to surrender and choosing to be still. I'm bringing forth these options, and I'm going to move with options that truly align with me, that I can bring forth, that I can help to move through this world and express myself in ways that I choose, and the highest good for myself and for others. So that's gorgeous, beautiful. All right, now let's get into the oracle cards and seeing what else Spirit wants to bring through. All right, the first deck that I'm drawn to is the Intuitive Whispers Oracle deck. So let's get into it and see what messages want to come through. All right, Spirit. What other message would like to come through for the collective here in this reading? Trusting the stop. Slow down, which I feel like you have. Let's be real. I'm going to put this here. All right, slow down. Let's read what the deck says. All right, you are being called to slow down. The world around you might feel like it's moving too fast. But remember, there is hardly ever an outward hurry, only an inner one. You don't need to move fast to get to your destination. Slowing down will allow you to prioritize what is truly important to you and to make space for your intuition to be heard. Beautiful. Talk about confirmation. We were talking about how you've surrendered, and in this moment you're stopping, you're connecting. This feels like you're slowing down, and it's inviting you to it, but I feel like you're in that space right now, so that it'll help you trust your intuition when choices come forward in your future. All right, being still can feel rebellious in a world that celebrates busyness. But this is your time to rebel, disconnect in order to reconnect. So maybe that's part of that, like I said, that raw truth, that Frida Kahlo energy that I feel like is coming through, of that being unapologetically you in this world and expressing yourself, and taking that time to allow yourself to connect. That's that rebelliousness, that's that rawness, that's that realness, that's that authenticity, right? That's coming forth. That invitation from Spirit that I do feel like you're answering. In my reading of this energy, it feels like you're in that space. So good for you. How to slow down. Close your eyes and observe your breath. Just you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Notice how deep or how shallow your breath is in this moment. How fast or slow your inner world feels. This awareness will give you the chance to slow down consciously. Deepen your breath. 6 seconds inhaling through the nose and 6 seconds exhaling through the nose. And you could always also do in through the nose, out through your mouth, but it's as you choose. Slowing down your breath will take you deeper within yourself, creating a stillness that allows you to listen to your intuition. Live rebelliously slow. So it's that invitation to ignore that chaos, the noise, the outside world, right? We mentioned that noisiness that was happening, and you're allowing yourself to still, to center, to receive. Thank you, Spirit, again for this confirmation. I would also like to offer the tip of when you breathe in, I like to picture the energy going from my feet and traveling up my spine, right? All the way up the center of my body, up my spine, through the heart, up through your throat, up into your third eye, and then up into your crown chakra. That third eye is right between your eyebrows, kind of in the middle of your forehead, and then up into the crown, which is like the very tippy top of your head and opening up. So as you breathe in, if you do 6 seconds, hold it and picture the energy rising up, and then picture it coming back down and around like an egg shape, a toroidal field when you exhale, and then back up again. Okay, so that may help. Take it or leave it. It's just a little tip if you so choose. All right, the next deck that called me is Trust Your Vibes. So let's get into it. All right, let's see what extra card, what extra message Spirit wants to bring through. Ooh. For this collective. What extra message does Spirit have? It's like slow, like a river of molasses. It's coming in nice and slow and easy. I have that song, Take It Easy, Take It Easy, easy like Sunday morning. Oh, that song came into my head. I think it's Lionel Richie. That's your vibe right now, right? Taking it easy. All right. All right, trusting the stop. Expect the best. So yeah, I feel like in this future, you're definitely going to be bringing in the best. So expect the best. Let's read the card and see what the book says. All right. Expect the best. Release your fears and anxieties. That's that surrendering. Release it. Allow that rebirth, that reconnection. The universe loves you unconditionally and is working to bring you the best possible experiences. Remember, you're going to be calling in multiple choices that you have coming in, right? However, sometimes the best experience is not the one you presently are hoping for, okay? So allow, right? The universe can imagine so much bigger and grander than any of us can imagine. So sometimes that allowing to, that surrendering of grabbing onto things needing to be a specific way, allow for the universe to surprise you in the most beautiful ways, right? Beyond your wildest imaginations. Share your desires with the universe. Then ask for this or better. The universe knows what you will need better than you do now and is working to fulfill your desires in ways that you are not yet aware of. Trust the universe. It will not let you down. Expect the best and be open to discovering what that is. So yeah, like confirmation, right? Surrendering, allowing, trusting, taking stillness, allowing your intuition to come in, centering yourself, right? In this crazy world, in this chaoticness, and this everything's happening, release. I'm going to trust the universe is going to bring me the best. I'm going to trust. I'm going to be still. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to connect. I'm going to allow, I'm going to receive, and I'm going to know that in the future I've got some beautiful choices coming in, and I'm going to be centered enough to meet them with my authentic self and to step in with something that matches at a level that I call in for my greatest good. So you've got beautiful things coming, and you're being invited to just relax. Easy like Sunday morning, right? Take it easy like Sunday morning. You've got this. And I don't even know the rest of the lyrics of that song, but when things like that come in, there's probably some synchronicity in there. So if you feel so called, check the song out. See what it says, what it feels like. So this is beautiful. There's a surrendering, a stillness that's going to allow in choices beyond even the greatest things you can imagine. So you've got beautiful, beautiful things coming in. And in the meantime, take it easy. You've got this. Thanks for being with me. Please do like, share, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the reading, if it resonated. And then also, if you want personal readings, do feel free to reach out to me on my Etsy or my Ko-Fi, my Ko-fi. I don't know how it's pronounced. I always say it funny. Preferably my Etsy if you want a reading. And if not, just subscribing helps support, gets this message out to other people who might also need, this message or other messages that I've posted. And, I'm here giving either pick-up piles occasionally or collective readings. So if you don't have money to give, just showing that support, giving, connecting your energy and, helping get these messages out to the collective is a big, big help. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your being here and being a fellow light and being on your journey. And I wish you the best, and hopefully I'll see you again next week or at a future reading here on my channel. Thanks again. Bye.